Post and Mandarin renew their nationally recognized rivalry, and two of Jacksonville's most prestigious programs face off when University Christian battles Bolles. The college football stars of tomorrow shine bright in a River City rumble on the gridiron. Channel 4, 1010XL, and Airstream Ventures are proud to bring you the Publix Bold City Showcase, presented by Sonic.
We are ready for a red-hot day of high school football here at the Bold School, the Publix Bold City Showcase, kicking off with the Lee Generals and the Bartram Trail Bears. A couple of teams coming into the day ranked atop the top 10 in the News 4 Jax Super 10. It's number 6 against number 8. Hello, everybody. Cole Pepper, along with the former Jaguars long snapper Joe Zelenka. And Joe, we're excited for this. The players on the field have to be through the roof excited to kick off the season.
Cole, absolutely. We are super excited up here in the booth. The bands are tuned up. The cheerleaders got their makeup on, and these kids have put in weeks and months of preparation ready for this moment right here. They got to watch their friends last night play on Friday Night Football. They're ready to play today.
And we have a matchup which features two great defensive backs, maybe the two best defensive backs, two of the best defensive backs in our area, to be sure. For the Bartram Trail Bears, Trevez Johnson is a man to watch, a future Florida Gator and a guy who has gotten a lot of attention, a 3-star recruit. Last year, 3 interceptions. Keep an eye out for number 6 for Bartram.
Yeah, Cole, Trevez is an absolute stud on the defensive side of the ball. But Coach Small and the Lee Generals, they are not afraid to go right at him. They're going to test his mettle with these young athletic receivers that Lee has. They're going to see how good he can tackle in space. They're going to see how well he runs and how well he can cover.
On the other side of the ball for Lee, a young rising star as a defensive back. Jaheim Singletary is just a sophomore, but last year as a freshman, 7 interceptions, and he's recently been named as a 5-star prospect, ranked number 16 among all sophomores in the country at any position. This is a star in the making.
He absolutely is, and he's got a lot of talent. He's got a big way to grow, and he's young. So there's so much for him to prove. But today it's going to be all about Singletary learning to be disciplined against this multiple option team that Bartram's going to throw at him.
And you see some of the big schools that are already taking a close look at Jaheim Singletary. We'll talk a lot about the offenses as well, but these two cornerbacks are playmakers to be sure as we get ready to kick off the Publix Bold City Showcase here at the Bold School. 2 more games to come after this, Mandarin against Atlantic Coast, and then the nightcap, University Christian against Bolles. But for now, we're getting close to kickoff. Lee won the toss and has decided to defer their choice to the second half. So Lee will kick off, and Bartram Trail will have the first opportunity on offense here to start things. Again, Daryl Sutherland is in his 18th season as the head coach at Bartram Trail, and what a record he's amassed over his time. On the other side, O.J. Small has really been the architect of a great turnaround at Lee. 2 very well-coached teams getting set to go at it here as we get set to kick off the Bold City Showcase. The Publix Bold City Showcase presented by Sonic, and here we go. Once it gets teed up, heat is going to be a factor, Joe. Noted in our pregame coverage how hot it is down on the track, and it is certainly going to be a factor for these two teams.
You know, Cole, these guys have been training in the heat all summer long. They've had 2-a-days. They've had practices on turf. They're ready for this. They're hydrated. These coaches have prepared their 2 teams for the absolute heat of today.
And here is the kick. It's high on the way and taken at the 11-yard line by Bartram Trail. And this is Amari Mitchell, beg your pardon, Eric Weatherly on the return. And he brings it out to the 19-yard line. And that's where Bartram will start 1st and 10. Chad Dotson is the quarterback for Bartram Trail. Bartram in the white jerseys, Lee in the all blue.
So Cole,
Dotson is the guy, Joe, who is the latest in a long line of terrific quarterbacks at Bartram Trail, trying to come into his own here as a senior. Last year, completed 69% of his passes, 14 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. So keep a close eye on number 10 here today. And Bartram, as we will expect to see, spreading out the offense on first down. Jackson Meyer makes the catch. Ball is loose and recovered by Lee. The Generals have it. The Generals jumped on the loose ball, and they are going to say it was a complete pass. And what a big play right out of the gate for Lee.
Cole, this is an absolute big play of the game. You know, Lee kicked off. They figured they were going to be on defense, but that's the heart and soul of their team. What a great open field tackle. These guys from the Generals, they're ball hawks. Great play right there, and heads up on the ball as it's loose on the ground.
Dedrick Smith with the recovery for the Generals. And now Lee on offense. Cole Zera expected to be the starting quarterback, but looks like they've made a change here on the very first play. Kobe Bates will go in, usually a wide receiver, but he's going to go into the Wildcat in a 5 wide receiver set, and Bates is going to run it himself. Breaks 1 tackle, has room, and the stiff arm before he's thrown down inside the 30-yard line. So one thing that O.J. Small is going to have to do, Joe, is figure out how he's handling things for his quarterback situation. A young quarterback on the roster, but he's going with Kobe Bates, the junior wide receiver, at that spot right here after a 9-yard gain.
You know, Cole, last year, a couple games, Kobe actually played some quarterback in this Wildcat set. I don't know if he's got a good arm. I haven't seen him throw too much, but he's definitely got the wheels to run, and he's a tough, hard runner. He's slippery. We saw it right there.
Now here's the starting lineup on offense for Lee, brought to you by the Florida Lottery, which has sent more than 800,000 students through the Bright Futures program. We'll get to that here in just a moment. Bates will fake the handoff, keep it himself, and cut down right at the line of scrimmage. Big play by Craig Sinclair, that's senior free safety. Here's the starting lineup for Bartram Trail. You see Travis Johnson listed there at number 6 at the bottom, and Sinclair, who made that tackle in the defensive backfield. They'll use a defensive setup at Bartram that includes a player they call the Grizz and another they call the Bear, a couple of their outside linebackers. 3rd down and half a yard. Direct snap again, and Bates going to take it, coming wide left, and a swarming Bartram defense. The Bears last year struggled defensively at times, but boy, they have come out of the gates hot here after the turnover.
You know, Cole, in First Coast football, everybody knows Bartram's got offense. They've had quarterbacks for years. They can throw the ball. The question has been on their defense, but right here, they showed their mettle. They actually got in. This is a swarming defense. Other than Johnson, it's just pack mentality. Great play here.
Now a big decision for O.J. Small, the Lee head coach. Go for it on 4th down. And a long 3 from the 31-yard line.
Cole, this is an emotional play. Let's see how Lee handles it.
Bates from the shotgun. He's going to run it. Finds a crease and came parallel at the line of scrimmage. And I believe he's going to come up short. Travis Johnson came up to make the tackle. And it looked like Bates might have a little extra room, but he tried to come wide, and Johnson tracked him down.
We talked about him, and he shows up. Big-time players show up in big-time moments, and Johnson just did it right there. Wow, what an absolute play. We watch, look here, look the quarterback, he scrambles, and he's got the room. He tries to stiff arm, but you can't stiff arm a future Florida Gator. Johnson comes up, makes the stick, makes the 4th down play. Nice play.
So 1st and 10, second offensive snap for Bartram. The first one resulted in a fumble. This one does as well, but Dotson able to jump on it for the Bears. And penalty flags coming in at the tail end of this play. It's been an inauspicious start offensively for Bartram.
You know, both teams are trying to find their footing right now, Cole. There's no preseason in high school football. They don't get practice games. These guys have only really played against each other, played against themselves. You know, Bartram last week, I think they went up against Menendez in a little practice round. But this is Lee's first test. We saw some of the little kinks that can happen early on in the season with this operational snap between center.
So unsportsmanlike conduct on the late hit, and this will give Bartram Trail a first down, their first of the game, and they'll march them up beyond the 40-yard line. Starting lineup for the offense of Bartram Trail, brought to you by the Florida Lottery, which has funded more than $35 billion in scholarships through the Bright Futures program. Dodson at quarterback. Watch out for A.J. Jones, a multi-threat player. He can get it done out of the backfield, catching the ball and running it. Number 3. Receivers to either side on 1st and 10 from the 40. Now they split out the tight players wide. Mayer in motion, and they'll hand it off, and this is Jones right up the middle. He lost the handle, but able to fall on it. All 3 offensive snaps for the Bears. We've seen the ball fumbled. Maybe a focus for Lee on defense, but certainly you would expect, Joe, that ball's going to get pretty slippery with as hot as it is and all the sweat that's going to be pouring down off these players.
Not only is it hot, are these guys sweaty, but they also got these TV cameras in their faces. And for a lot of these guys, it's the first time they're showing out on TV. So a little bit of nerves to deal with early in the game. 2nd down and 3 from the 47. Jones goes wide and some movement up front. Sort of the kinds of things you might expect early on in a high school football season. As you mentioned, get a little bit of work in a preseason classic. Usually the starters will play most of the first half, and that's about it. Maybe an officials scrimmage potentially, but hard to get a lot of work on task in high school football till the games count for real. Here's the defensive starters for Lee. Quick throw, Dodson, caught by the tight end Mayer, has a first down, holds on to the football this time. He's inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Quick hitter there by Dodson. That's something that Daryl Sutherland really likes to see out of his quarterback. Quick decisions, accurate throws. Well, Dodson, he's got something to prove. Last year he went down with an ACL injury, missed most of the season. He's got something to prove this year, and on that pass, great read, great throw.
They'll hand it off. This is A.J. Jones again, running up the middle, able to pick up yardage inside the 40 to the 39. Yeah, Dodson's injury last year really changed the way this offense operated. It became more of a run-oriented offense behind the likes of Jones. You can see Jones finding the crease there.
It's great vision by Jones. What a slippery little back, just sliding right through the hole.
2nd and 5. Jones again. And 5 more for Jones. You see the lead defenders trying to rip that ball out of his hands as he picked up 6 yards for a first down. Jones last year, 70 carries for 753 yards. If you look at Dodson. Dodson last year, only the 2 interceptions before the injury. Quick throw out to the left. Jones again. Out of the backfield, kept his footing, and gets inside the 30. Jones caught 22 balls a year ago. And as a running back, the note that really jumped out at me, Joe, was that he averaged 18.2 per reception last year.
You know, that's big time playing right there for a running back to average 18 yards a catch.
Quick throw again, a little behind Mayer this time, couldn't haul it in. It's incomplete.
Even though that pass was behind Mayer, what a read by Dodson. I mean, throwing it on the back shoulder of your receiver, he's got to make that catch. Hit your hands, there's no excuse. But hey, tough catch. It would have been a great one if he would have got it.
Senior tight end figures to be one of the favorite targets of Dodson this year. Lined up as a slot here. And they'll give it to A.J. Jones again. Gained maybe a yard, maybe half a yard. It'll bring up 4th down and long. And now a decision for Daryl Sutherland on 4th down. The wind is at the back right now of Bartram Trail as you look at Mayer. But this would be a long field goal.
It would be a real long field goal, Cole. This would be a poke. So let's go for it. Let's see what Bartram can do here.
Dodson in the shotgun on 4th down. Fakes the handoff to Jones. Pressure comes. Hit, and down he goes. Dedrick Smith with his 2nd big play of the ball game. Both plays by Smith have resulted in possession for Lee. This time he came around the edge.
You know, Dedrick here, this is a fantastic play by defensive end. You see him line up. Dodson's going to take the snap, and you just see a guy who's hungry coming around. Smith makes a great play on the quarterback. Boom, right there. Great job by Dodson holding on to the ball. That could have been a fumble. Scoop and score for 6, but great job. Turnover on downs.
We'll remind you that we will have hydration breaks as well as we get about halfway through each quarter.
That's good because I need hydration.
Yeah, we'll get you something to cool down. Issued a sideline warning to Lee that time as they were trying to get a player onto the field. Now Lee once again using Kobe Bates at quarterback, and he will hand it off to Kivante Doles. Doles finds some room, puts his head down, and bangs his way forward to the 40-yard line. Gain of 6 by Doles, a junior who last year was used as much a receiver as a runner. 28 carries, 17 catches last year for Kivante Doles as a sophomore. Now, as his junior year, out there able to hide behind some of those big offensive linemen.
These guys are working hard, Cole. It's hot when you're that big.
And off again to Doles, running to the right, and dives forward near the first down marker. Going to be just a bit shy. Last year, Lee 10-2. They beat Reigns 16-15 to open the season. And the clock stops at 6:08 here in the first quarter. Going to measure for a first down. And one way or another, we'll have a chance to catch our breaths here after this because of the hydration break. And we'll do that now. Time for a Sonic hydration break. Quench your thirst at a Sonic drive-in with a frozen slush infused with Red Bull. We'll be back to the action in just a moment.
Thank you. Experience the freedom to do it all at the Jeep Labor Day sales event. Hurry in for $1,000 bonus cash. Or a well-qualified returning FCA lessee's get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Jeep Cherokee Limited for $259 a month.
JOI has been wonderful for me. Going back to my playing days, they kept me on the field as a player. And since I have moved on to the next phase of my life, they have helped me lead a very active lifestyle. I got to go. And JOI, without them, I wouldn't be where I am. I mean, my left shoulder is money because of JOI. I'm going to go where the best is, and me, I'm going to JOI.
JOI, where the pros go.
The Publix Bold City Showcase Drive of the Game is brought to you by your local Southern Chevy dealers. Watch the Publix Bold City Showcase, presented by Sonic Drive-In. Saturday, August 24th, starting at noon on Channel 4.
If a car leaves the office at 5:46 p.m., picks up 2 different kids at 2 different locations, makes one U-turn because the second child forgot one item at the second location, passes 3 fast food joints looking for one meal that feeds 4 with 0 time to spare, what is the quickest way to get a quality family meal? The Publix Deli. With delicious, ready-to-enjoy meals, every option is the right answer. Now that's everyday easy. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Experience the freedom to do it all at the Jeep Labor Day sales event. Hurry in for $1,000 bonus cash. Or a well-qualified returning FCA lessee's get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Jeep Cherokee Limited for $259 a month.
Have you signed up for the Morning Blend? It's easy. Just go here, enter your email address here. You'll get important local stories from me and the rest of the Morning Show team emailed to you every day.
Subscribe at news4jax.com/newsletters.
They have measured for the first down, and Lee has come up just inches short. So it'll be 3rd down and about 1.5 inches here for Kobe Bates and the Generals.
This is a big play, Cole. Early in the game, see if these guys can pick it up.
They load up with some blockers on the right side of the backfield and hand it off to Kivante Doles, and Doles has enough for the first down. Push back after a gain of 3, but he picks up enough yardage to keep the drive alive. You'd wonder if he didn't make that, if O.J. Small would have gone for it again on 4th down here at this point of the ball game and this spot on the field, but they'll keep the drive alive. Small took over during the 2011 season at Lee as the interim head coach. He won 6 games over the next 2 years, but since 2014, he has led Lee to a record of 48-14. A real resurgence for the second oldest high school in Jacksonville. Bates will throw it on first down. Looking for Jeremy Robinson. Defended on the play. Robinson was looking for a flag, didn't get one. Evan Eilers on the defense for Bartram Trail.
So this is the first look we got at Doles' arm, and you can see on this play he has an absolute great arm, great throw. We need that receiver just to keep running through, run under the ball. It could have been a big play. He was actually behind the defender.
So 2nd and 10 from the 48 here for the Generals. Generals figure to be well in line for their 4th straight playoff berth. Rather 5th straight this year. Doles falls behind the line of scrimmage, loss of yardage. Both these teams have an expectation to be in the postseason. Last year, partially due to some injuries for Bartram Trail, Joe, the Bears did not make the postseason after a 7-3 year.
You know, 7-3 isn't a bad record.
No.
I know a couple of teams I would have let it been 7-3, but that was only the 3rd time Coach Holland had missed the playoffs in his career at Bartram.
3rd and 11 now from the 47-yard line. Both teams have worked exclusively from the shotgun in this ballgame. Bates to throw it, has pressure. Being chased by Logan Wiley. Now being grabbed and thrown down. Dylan Chiedo with the tackle. Had him collared over near the far sideline. And that'll bring up 4th down, and will O.J. Small go for it again?
You know, it's a tough part of the field, especially in high school with the punters that you have, and to pin somebody deep down here. But it's also a field position battle here, Cole. They're going to punt it, and this is going to be an interesting play here.
Trevez Johnson back to return the punt. That will come from Jai Robinson, defensive tackle / punter. Fields a low snap, gets the punt away. Johnson watches it bounce. And it is touchdown inside the 15-yard line by Lee. So a long field now for Bartram Trail. I think if we were anticipating a score in this game at halftime or a final score, you wouldn't have thought this would have been the kind of game that these two teams played a couple of years ago in the playoffs when they scored a combined 120 points. Very different teams. But so far the offenses have been outplayed by the defenses.
You know, both of these defenses came to play. For Lee, we knew that. We knew their defense was tough. This is a team that last year held people to 18 points a game. But Bartram, maybe they're changing their mentality. Maybe they're more of a defensive team this year because they are shutting Lee down completely. And let's look to see what Bartram does here on the offensive side of the ball. See if Doles can't get things, or Dotson can't get things rolling.
Darryl Sutherland calling plays, and Dotson will line up in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Little quick pitch out wide. This is Eric Weatherly, finds some space and runs out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Gain of 12 yards and a 1st down. That gives a little breathing room for the Bears.
Absolutely. In this part of the field, you just want to get yourself out of that hole. You want to get yourself out past the 20. Can try to change the field position battle. Great play here. You see the misdirection, the triple read by Bartram, and just hits that corner. Weatherly hits that corner, and he's gone.
1st and 10 now from the 25-yard line. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right, and now they'll send Weatherly in motion. Hand it off to A.J. Jones in the middle. Can't find any room this time. The Lee defense there to make the stop. Ralph Mency in on the play. 8 sacks and 3 interceptions last year in his junior year. Mency is a commit to the University of Ohio.
Heading up there to Ohio, playing that MAC football league. Tough football in Ohio, that's where I'm from. But that's the play that Lee needs to stop all day long, that inside zone that Bartram's going to run. They're going to look to spread you and then hit you on that inside zone for big plays.
2nd and 10. Dotson again from the shotgun. Ryan Pierza is the center. Snaps it back to him. And it is A.J. Jones again running up the middle. gains 3. Third down and long coming up now for Bartram Trail. Boy, Lee's defense, which was such a standout unit a year ago, looks very good to start this season.
Lee, this is the heart and soul of their defense.
Quick play, no huddle. Get it out to Jones on the edge, in space. Has enough for the first down before he is tackled by Larry Smith for Lee, but not before Jones crosses the 35 to the 36-yard line. Caught Lee on their heels a bit there.
Just a little bit, and not only is the ball slippery, but these they're slipping through tackles. It's just got to wrap up. Lee almost had him there for a 4th down.
Another quick throw out to the near side through the hands of Preston Dotson. So Chad looking for his brother Preston, threw a little high, and it brings up 2nd down. What a thing to be able to play high school football with your brother.
That would be really fun. My brother was too young to play with me, but that would have been fun.
It is a beautiful day visually, but it is hot. And you can see the coaches dealing with the heat as best they can. The players certainly as well. Quick throw to the near side. This one is caught by Zach Rhodes, and Rhodes rolls his way beyond the 40 to the 41-yard line to bring up 3rd down and 5. Ball getting out of the hand of the quarterback pretty quickly.
You know, you can't hold on to it against this Lee defense. They are quick, they are athletic, they're going to make plays, and Dotson knows that he's got to get it out of his hands and let his playmakers make plays, as we just saw.
Now 4th down, they'll go for it. Jones. That should have been 3rd down. It said 4th down on the sticks across the far side, but I think somebody had jumped the gun.
It's the first game for the chain crew, too, Cole.
Good point. So now it's 4th down. Same situation. And Dotson staying out there for Bartram Trail. Even with the wind behind them here, Bears not opting for a punt, maybe trying to draw them offside. High snap, Dotson gonna quick kick it. Almost got blocked, didn't get a lot on it, but it takes a Bartram roll inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line.
That's a neat little play there, Cole. I mean, you have your defense on the field, no returner back. Luckily, Dotson got it off. It wasn't the prettiest kick in the world. He should stick to throwing it, not kicking it. But hey, turnover on downs, and Lee's starting first and almost 73 yards.
This Lee team, we were referencing the playoff game that they played against Bartram Trail. 61-59 the final back in 2016. 3rd round of the playoffs. Lee led 27-7 in the first half. Came back and trailed 59-47 with 4 minutes to play before they came back to win it. I don't think we're going to see numbers of that like in this one, or maybe any game this year. Quick handoff. Doles running wide. Is grabbed and dropped after a short gain. Brandon King, the Mike linebacker for the Bears, with the tackle.
That's a great job by your Bartram defense, setting that edge and keeping Doles from hitting that corner too hard.
We near the final minute 20 of the first quarter in a scoreless game. Give it again to Devontae Doles. Able to ramrod his way to the 33, just shy of the 33-yard line. 3rd down has not been pleasant for either team so far today.
No, it's been a defensive struggle going back and forth. And we're going to get to see maybe some different play calling, see what Coach Small and Coach Sutherland come up with in these situations as the game goes on. It's still early. There's still a lot of football to be played. I think both of these teams are trying to figure each other out, what they do well, what they don't do well. And so let's see what happens here.
3rd down, they'll hand it off again to Doles. Bangs his way forward near the 35-yard line. Gain of a couple, and another 4th down and short decision coming up for the Generals. You see Doles there listed at 5'5", so he can hide in amongst the big trees. There is a Bartram Trail player down at the moment as we have gone inside 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. This Lee team, though, as we mentioned, has really turned around under O.J. Small's direction. Small said that he called this team a young team coming back. 9 seniors that played on the team last year, and you look at the breakdown of their roster makeup. You have 8 or 9 seniors, 26 juniors on this roster. So for Lee, this is one of those years that if they can put something together, make the postseason, boy, they could be dangerous next year.
They could be dangerous this year, Cole. Coach Small doesn't want to win next year. He wants to win this year. And they've been knocking on the door the last couple of years. This is a program that is on the rise, and Coach Small has these young guys prepared. They are ready to play, and it doesn't matter if you're a junior or a senior over there at Lee High School. He preaches and coaches to his players' leadership and discipline. He's an absolute great guy. He's one of those coaches that I would love my son to play for, a coach like Coach Small, because just the way he coaches is just a fantastic. You can see these are more than just football players. These are young men.
Have a nice round of applause for our player number 89.
If 89 was not on a roster that we've been given, so can't tell you who he is, but being helped off the field at this point for Bartram Trail. So punt formation for Lee.
Number 21. Eric Weatherly.
You know, Cole, the last time Lee punted, we had a little operation error. That's something I keep close eye on. Let's see if we've cleaned it up on the sidelines.
Weatherly is back deep for Bartram Trail to return this punt.
And Jai Robinson, a defensive tackle, is actually the punter.
High snap. Robinson has to track it back. And another bad snap on special teams, and Bartram Trail is going to be knocking on the door here in the final moments of the quarter, and might get even more with a penalty flag dropped after the play.
That is a huge turn of events. Bartram thought they were going to have to take a nice long drive going into the end of the first quarter, but instead we have an operational error. That ball is way up over high. Poor Robinson can't grab a hold of it, and then he tries to become a running back, and defensive tackles becoming running backs don't really happen all that often. Bartram swarming, great play on special teams for the Bears.
And it's going to go against Lee, so this will make it even a shorter field for Bartram Trail. The Bears are making a trip to the Publix Greenwise zone. Publix Greenwise is in your corner to support the lifestyle choices best for you. Some call it the red zone. Today, it's the Greenwise zone.
I like that Greenwise stuff, Cole. That's good stuff. I spend more time on that aisle than most other aisles I do in Publix.
See if the Bears can go shopping for a touchdown here with 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Dodson will hand it off. Jones grabbed by the shirt, able to stay alive and keep going. He's in. Touchdown, Bartram Trail. A.J. Jones, the first touchdown of the Publix Bold City Showcase.
This is an absolute bread and butter play for Bartram. A little inside zone read by the quarterback and Jones, and he absolutely hits this hole hard, runs through a couple of arms tackles, gets himself a touchdown.
Coming in to try the extra point is number 43.
So the extra point coming up. William Gregg will attempt the extra point. Jackson Mayer in there to hold. And Zach Morse, the long snapper. They have to run another player on right at the last second here with the play clock winding down. There's the snap, and the kick is up, and it's good, but a penalty marker down. May have been a player for Lee across the line. Let's see if we can sort this one out.
You know, Cole, this is the hard part of not having preseason games for these high school coaches, getting that personnel substitution in the game, making sure you have 11 on the field. But great job by your kicker and your holder actually counting. A lot of times those guys don't count real well. I know Scobie had a hard time counting for the Jaguars. He only counted to, I think, 3. That was his highest number he went to. But that worked well for him.
Just a field goal, right?
Just a field goal. He didn't want to count any higher.
Now they're going to try to bring him back on and try to get everybody on the same page. Bartram Trail wanted to decline the penalty because the kick was good, but it was being told, nope, you can't decline this one. A.J. Jones has given the Bears a 6-0 lead here at the end of the first quarter of the Publix Bold City Showcase.
The Publix Bold City Showcase Drive of the Game is brought to you by your local Southern Chevy dealers.
I switched from Dodge.
We switched from Ford.
I switched from Ram. I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy. We switched to Chevy.
For dependability.
For these guys.
And just look at it.
We switched to Chevy.
See for yourself why people are switching at the Chevy All-Star Open House. Get 20% below MSRP on all 2019 Silverado double cab pickups. That's over $97.50 on this Silverado.
See your Southern Chevy dealers.
If a car leaves the office at 5:46 p.m., picks up 2 different kids at 2 different locations, makes 1 U-turn because the second child forgot 1 item at the second location, passes 3 fast food joints looking for 1 meal that feeds 4 with 0 time to spare, what is the quickest way to get a quality family meal? The Publix Deli. With delicious, ready-to-enjoy meals, every option is the right answer. Now that's everyday easy. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
When you walk into a gate, you'll get more than you ever imagined. Like quick and hearty meal options, fresh and fast pick-me-ups, and friendly faces to serve you. Gate has everything you need to keep up with your busy life. Say cheers to 25 years with a Jaguars 25th Anniversary Collectible Cup filled with your favorite fountain drink for just $1.25. Gate, serving up more.
Nominated deserving teacher to be recognized as the Sonic Drive-In Classroom of the Month. Winners will receive $250 in school supplies as well as Sonic slushes for the entire class. To nominate a teacher, go to the contest page on news4jax.com. Sponsored by Sonic Drive-In.
Bad things can happen when people aren't prepared for hurricanes.
By using the Storm Pins feature in our weather app, you can see what stores have what items.
To download our weather app, go to the Google Play or App Store. For things like flashlights and batteries, go to Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware and Channel 4 want to help you build a kit that fits.
Here's the touchdown, A.J. Jones. Good work up front by the Bartram Trail line. Bartram with a 6-0 lead. No time on the clock at the end of the quarter here. They're going to have to kick the extra point to make it a 7-0 ball game. William Gregg to attempt the extra point, and flags fly once again. Everybody having a hard time getting this extra point taken care of.
You know, just in my experience, that's something we don't work enough on in football is the extra point. You know, we need to do more of that as coaches, as players. It's an integral part of the game.
Spoken as a true long snapper.
Well, plus it was when I was out there. I mean, who wouldn't want to be on the field?
Exactly. So it's a procedure call against Bartram this time, so they'll move him back 5 yards. And once again, for the 3rd time, try to kick this extra point to end the first quarter officially.
You know, Cole, normally in high school, this could get a little squirrely. The further you move back, kickers aren't always the best, but Bartram has a real good one in Greg Williams. Last week, he hit a 42-yarder against Menendez in a practice game. He's got a foot.
This extra point right through there. Again, no flags this time. It's 7-0 Bartram Trail with the lead.
Tattoos the scoreboard. Great kick by the kicker. Great operation. Hold, snap, kick. Can't beat it. 1 point on the board. 7-0 Bartram.
Catch the Mark Brunell Show. You never know what special guest might pop in. Monday nights at 7 on CW 17. You'll know I'll be there. Eden Kendall will be there. And the quarterback, Mark Brunell, will be there. His Episcopal Eagles with a big win last night over Providence to open the season.
I hear they got good food down there at Sneakers too, right?
Oh, yeah.
I heard the prime rib is absolutely prime, brother.
I appreciate you mentioning. I nailed that prime rib after the show on Monday. That may be my go-to now.
I mean, I think it should be. I hear it's good. I got to get down there and try it. I mean, when you hear enough rumors about food, a guy like me's just got to show up and eat.
We welcome open invitation, Joe.
Well, you never, I don't know. I mean, this is easy. People are just hearing my voice. They don't got to see me. I come on that show. I got to hang out with Mark again and you. They might actually see my face. I don't have a face for TV.
That's all right. I don't have a body for TV, but I still go out there. All right, we're getting ready to start the second quarter here. And William Gregg will kick it away for Bartram Trail. Cavante Doles is back deep, as is Kobe Bates. So you have the quarterback and the running back to return this kick for the Lee Generals, who trail by a touchdown for the first time in this ball game. Gregg approaches, swings his right leg through it, and gets a lot of it. This one's taken at the 3-yard line by Kobe Bates. To the 20, has a seam. Bates makes a move and into Bartram Trail territory to the 47-yard line. And that is a real boost in the arm for the Generals.
Absolutely. Big plays on special teams are showing up early in this game. It's one of those things that's hard to practice full go is kickoff coverage, kickoff return. But Lee absolutely gashes Bartram on this play. Great job blocking up front. And Kobe Bates running hard.
We'll see if that impacts play calling now after Bates, the quarterback, just ran that far. Now Bates is going to come in as a wide receiver. And Cole Zara is in. The sophomore we thought we'd see as the starter, but he's in there now as the quarterback, and flags fly yet again before the snap.
You know, Cole, you know, the offensive line, you can make a big play on special teams, and then all of a sudden you come out, you're a little excited, you're a little amped up. You got to listen to that play call and that snap count up front. Just a little shuddering movement. The refs are on their game today early. They throw the flag. You back up 5 yards. Now it's 1st and 15. Play calling probably won't change in this part of the field, but we'll see.
Here's a wide play out to the near side. Terry McKinney looking for room, but he's cut down by the Bartram Trail defense. Brett Marty was in on the tackle along with Dylan Chiedo.
That's a great job by Bartram, setting the edge up front with the big fellas, taking care of the offensive line, linebackers shifting and running. You know, Lee is trying to prove their athleticism and their speed against Bartram's defense, challenging them really. It's going to be it's going to be a tough sledding day for Lee, it looks like so far. Bartram is really stepping up their game.
You see Daryl Johnson, the right tackle, going to the sideline. Big 6'3", 255-pound sophomore for Lee. So you're going to have to get another body in there on that offensive line. Timeout called by Lee with 11 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Lee calls timeout. This timeout brought to you by Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, providing compassionate care at 5 convenient offices and 12 rehab facilities throughout the city. Find out more at joionline.net.
You know, Cole, it is hot down there, and we see these young guys taking on water. This has been a change as football's gone on. And maybe a lot of you that are watching remember when you were back in high school, you know, water breaks were only for guys who were soft. Coaches didn't let you take water breaks. Now we understand the body a little bit more. We want to keep these kids hydrated, keep them healthy. We know that we got to drink, and it's hot down there. I mean, was it 140 before the game? We got to keep these kids hydrated because you can only play if you're hydrated. Play at your top.
And as you know, hydration isn't just a game day situation. It has to start during the week. It's got to be something you build up. And when you're practicing in this heat, you can acclimate to a certain extent. But, boy, you got to get more water in you.
You got to get more water. And you can't acclimate. You can't practice like you're going to play. I mean, you got to be ready.
Here's Zara on the rollout. Cocks the arm and throws. McKinney makes the catch. And down along the far sideline, near the original line of scrimmage. So he gets the penalty yardage back.
You know, this is our first look at Zara here. He's got it rolling out to his left, throws across his body. That's a tough throw for an older quarterback, even harder for a younger one. He throws it, makes a nice little touch on it. Great reception. There's McKinney making the reception. Great job. Great connection.
Zara, a sophomore, and at 5'7". Not a guy who figures to be a stand in the pocket and deliver. He's going to be on the move quite a bit. 5 receivers now on 3rd down and 10 for the Generals. Zara to throw, near side. And the catch is made. What a catch in tight coverage. Jeremy Robinson made the play. He had a defender, Sharif Denson, all over him. There's a penalty marker down, but what a catch here by the Generals receiver, Jeremy Robinson.
Pitch and catch for Lee. Zara throwing to Robinson. He threads the needle. Great catch, great defense. You can't do anything as a defender there. That's just a great play by the offense.
They're going to talk things out here. So the roughing the quarterback call is the one that's accepted, and they'll mark this one down after the play.
You know those are two penalties that Coach Sutherland is absolutely livid about. He is a coach that preaches discipline, preaches sportsmanship and roughing the passer. Hey, sometimes it happens, but you don't want it to happen in this part of the field, especially after a great pass play by Lee.
Just a couple of minutes into the second quarter here, and Lee threatening really for the first time in this ball game offensively.
You know, and they're threatening maybe with the change of quarterback. Maybe putting Zara in there, putting, you know, moving Bates back out to wide receiver can mess with things a little bit.
They're talking things over. I think the conversation is about where to mark the penalty from. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Jamal St. Cyr. Jamal.
Thanks, Cole. Well, this has been an exciting game so far. I mean, those fumbles in the first quarter have kept everybody on their toes. But the last time these two teams met, it was really exciting. It was back in the third round of the playoffs in 2016. Lee ended up winning that game, but they led 27-7 at halftime before Bartram stormed back, had a 59-47 lead with 4 minutes to play. Then Lee ended up coming back to win the thing 61-59. You want to talk about a game that is for the history books? That was one. We'll have to stand by and see if this game ends up having those sort of fireworks, but fingers crossed for everybody watching. Back to you up in the booth, Cole.
I don't think we're going to get that kind of total points, but if it's that close, we'll be in for a good one here today.
Oh, we're in for a real good one. Great inside run there behind J.J. Faulkner, an absolute man-child, 6'6", 285. This guy is somebody you're going to want to watch the next couple years in First Coast football. He just road graded that play.
All right, with Cale Zara staying at quarterback on 2nd down and 7 from the 28 for Lee. Here comes some pressure. They're setting up the screen. Dumps it off short. Caught by Kevontae Doles, but he didn't fool anybody. That Bartram defense was all over the place. Dylan Chiedo again with the tackle. He was not the only one who was there.
Cole, that's a great read by those linebackers, but they're coached well. Keith Cromwell has been doing this for a long time, the defensive coordinator for Bartram. He's coached these guys up well. They are moving east and west, and a great play right there, making the read, coming up, making a big tackle.
Clark Hamilton also in on that tackle, junior linebacker. We're talking about the numbers on the roster for Lee. Bartram does not have that kind of an issue. They've got all kinds of players as Zara throws this one out of bounds. But just breaking down the roster, we were talking about Lee having 26 sophomores. There are 29 seniors on this Bartram roster, 23 juniors.
Top heavy, very veteran team that has been around, team that has played in big games. They've played in playoff games. Some of these guys were even on that game that was on ESPN a couple years ago. Some of these guys were probably getting close to being on the roster, or at least were in the school. So these guys have been around. They're savvy. They know how to play.
Some of these guys, of course, played on the state finals team in 2017 as well. And Bartram will call a timeout here with 8:17 to play in the first half. This timeout brought to you by Baptist Health, honored to be considered the most preferred healthcare provider in Jacksonville. Find more at baptistjax.com. With 8:17 to play, this is a huge moment for O.J. Small and his Lee team. If they go for it here and can convert, they can keep their most impressive drive alive. But at this point in the ball game, I think you have to try to ride the hot hand, don't you?
Absolutely. They've put together a little drive. Great a special teams play on the kickoff return, brought them out to about midfield, and they've kind of stalled a little bit. A couple penalties, a couple this and that, but they've made some plays. A nice throw to McKinney. You know, Zara is actually making some nice plays with this swap from being on the sidelines to now being in the game.
Well, here's where we are at 7-0 as a result of this play. A.J. Jones finding space in the middle of that offensive line for Bartram Trail. And give credit to the center, Ryan Pierza, Eli Safer, and Jack Spells at guard. Hunter Hartzell and Jacob Otts on the offensive tackles. The big guys got it done on that drive for the Bears, and that's why they lead it 7-0.
This is a war in the middle of the field, in the middle of the field between these offensive and defensive lines. These guys are battling, they're hitting hard, they're dealing with the heat, staying hydrated, having to stay focused.
And Lee will go for it on 4th and 12 from the 33, the line to make just inside the 22-yard line of the Bears. Zara to throw. And throws this one over everybody's head, incomplete. And turning over on downs yet again. So trying to maybe roll the dice a bit there, O.J. Small, but his sophomore quarterback could not connect for the first down, so Bartram takes over.
Might be a roll of the dice, might be some excellent coaching on the Lee sidelines, knowing what happened last time they tried to punt, snap over the punter's head. Why risk it in this part of the field?
And the conversation there with Zara. Teachable moment, I guess you would call that.
Absolutely, and Coach Small understands football. I mean, he played at Florida. I mean, great receiver there, led the SEC his senior year. He understands football, and he really loves his players, and you can see that the way the players respond to him and the way they play so hard for the Generals.
Yeah, it was interesting hearing some of the comments from some of the players around Media Day. Ralph Mency, the defensive end, said he's like a father figure to everyone, talking to Smalls. This one dumped off. This one caught by Jackson Mayer, but not much room there, maybe a couple of yards. The quote from Mency, he's really like a father figure to everyone on the team. He's a great man. He really helped me with a lot of stuff. He always tells me what I do today will determine tomorrow.
You can't pay for advice like that. What a great coach to have.
And the fact that it's sticking with a player like that.
Absolutely. I think Coach Small realized that it's more than just about football. This is about raising a young man to be an absolute adult, a productive member of society. He's really changed this program over at Lee to back to what the history used to be, you know.
A long and storied history. Of course, we mentioned only Jackson, an older high school in Jacksonville. And those two have a long, storied rivalry. The Lee-Jackson game once played in the Gator Bowl on an annual basis. This one high and tipped, incomplete. And now the punting team will rush on for Bartram Trail with 7:16 to play as Chad Dotson, who is receiving some offers from Division I schools, heads to the sideline.
And why wouldn't you, Cole? I mean, this kid, he's got all the tools. He's from a quarterback factory in Bartram Trail. This school has put out quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. Coach Sutherland is coaching these guys. He's an offensive-minded coach. I mean, absolutely. If I was a college head coach, I'd be recruiting him.
Nate Peterman, Kyle Parker, Joey Gatewood, Riley Smith, P.J. Blasajowski, and Jordan Smith all going on from Bartram Trail to play college football. Now the punt is away from Ralph Hamilton, and it takes a sideways bounce. Lee will pick it up, and they'll have it at the 39-yard line to start the drive with 7:05 to play. Give credit, Lee's defense, other than the one drive, has really been able to rise to the occasion. They had a bit of a short field on that first drive, but this is a Lee unit that really prides itself on setting the tone for the Generals.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a defense that held their opponents last year to 18 points per game. And on the other side of the ball, Bartram, they had over 400 yards of offense per game. I mean, so you have this battle of two great offensive and a defensive school, and right now it looks like Lee is winning that battle. They're only down 7. They just got to get something rolling here on offense.
And last year, Bartram Trail had the highest yards per game average of any team in the area. And even with the injury to Dotson, they were a very balanced team in the end of the season, averaging over 200 yards passing and 200 yards receiving per game. And now here's Zara with the fake handoff, a little bit of traffic, and he goes down on his own for a loss on the play.
Just a little excited there by Zara. I think they want to make a play. This general team wants to get out there. They want to make a play. They want that emotional high of getting down the field, something big to happen. They can feel it. They're ready. They're just waiting for it to pop.
Isaiah Jones was the running back, and first action for Jones, he banged right into Zara. Zara again on 2nd and long. Throwing, intercepted, threw it right to the linebacker, Brent Marty, and Marty knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. That one looked like he thought he was the receiver, right at Marty, who didn't have anybody around him.
That's a great play by Bartram. Absolutely wonderful play. Staying in their coverage, staying in there. Looked like the quarterback might have been a little bit, it might have been a wet ball thing. It didn't come out real clean. Might be some confusion on the route that was supposed to be run. But either way, big play for Bartram. Swing of emotion, swing of momentum. They get the ball in a great spot on the field.
We've talked about Lee's defense, but Bartram's defense has made some big plays here in the first half.
They really have, Cole. They have really stepped up their game. Last year they were giving up, almost 30 points per game. Luckily their offense was putting up some points, but they're showing out here today. It's been impressive.
They call Marty the Grizz backer, and he made a Grizzly play there. Quick throw through the hands and incomplete. Tried to get it to Mayer. Dotson with a little more steam on it than Mayer was expecting.
Little smoke behind that throw.
Take another look at this one.
You can see that the tight end here has been one of his favorite targets all day long. That ball right through your hands, hit him right in the beak. Oh, painful, especially on TV any time today, but on TV you don't want to see that.
2nd and 10. Hand it off to Jones, and A.J. Jones knifes his way inside the 25 to the 21-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. Take a look at the work up front by the Bears.
This Bear offensive line is working together as an absolute unit, and that's what you need in your offensive line. 5 guys who hang out together, 5 guys who laugh, tell jokes, tell stories, and they are showing it on the field with this cohesiveness.
Direct snap to Jones, and he takes it up the middle. What nice tackle made on the play by Calvin Sinclair for Lee, who reached out a right paw and grabbed Jones, slowed him down shy of the first down marker.
What a great tackle there, Cole. One arm, that's a lot of strength to stop a guy running full speed.
So now, do you go for the field goal or go for the first down here? Looks like the field goal unit will be out there. William Gregg, you mentioned his strong leg, and he'll have a chance to kick a 24-yard field goal. Bartram here in the Publix Greenwise zone. Visit Publix.com and find out how you can make delectable treats with our Greenwise recipes. And timeout called, and they're going to talk things over.
4th and 2, this is a decision for Coach Sutherland and the Bartram Bears. Do you go for it? Do you get points on the board? You've got an accurate kicker. Why not get the points on the board? Put Lee down 10.
This will also serve as a break time for us. 7-0. Bartram Trail leading Lee.
The Publix Bold City Showcase Drive of the Game is brought to you by your local Southern Chevy dealers.
If you've been injured, you will need a law firm who will think about you and fight for you like family. Not like you're a number or a file, but a person. That's what we do. Call us, Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Glass and mirror update by Lee & Kate's makes everything look better. Lee & Kate's Glass. You're gonna see a big difference.
If a car leaves the office at 5:46 p.m., picks up 2 different kids at 2 different locations, makes 1 U-turn because the second child forgot 1 item at the second location, passes 3 fast food joints looking for 1 meal that feeds 4 with 0 time to spare, what is the quickest way to get a quality family meal? The Publix Deli. With delicious, ready-to-enjoy meals, every option is the right answer. Now that's everyday easy. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Nominated deserving teacher to be recognized as the Sonic Drive-In Classroom of the Month. Winners will receive $250 in school supplies as well as Sonic slushes for the entire class. To nominate a teacher, go to the contest page on news4jax.com. Sponsored by Sonic Drive-In.
When you see another senseless shooting, when your neighborhood is threatened, when you're scared for your family, there's only one news team you can count on, who care enough to get you answers, push to get results when the others give up. Report important new information first on every device. When you want a news team who understands why local is what matters most, watch News 4 Jax every night starting at 5, the local station.
Welcome back to the Publix Bold City Showcase. Second quarter, Bartram trail with a 7-0 lead. And William Gregg on to attempt a 34-yard field goal to try to stretch the Bears' lead to 10. Snap is back, hold is good, kick is up, has plenty of distance, and it is good. It's a 10-0 Bartram trail lead on the William Gregg field goal. The Bears have had the upper hand on the Generals so far in terms of total offense. The Bears with 94 yards to Lee's 50 yards so far in this game. It has been a story of defenses and opportunities. That field goal set up by an interception.
Absolutely. We've seen big plays on special teams, a big turnover by Lee, which is different because Bartram's not known for getting turnovers. They didn't have a lot of picks last year. Most of their turnovers come off of opportunity plays, just like we saw here. Great job by Bartram's defense to make that play, and great kick by the kicker. That's a tough kick.
All right, let's go down to the sidelines and check in once again with Jamal.
Yeah, I know it's been much of a defensive game, but Chad Dotson for Bartram Trails, he's really a player. Last year, he threw for over 1,200 yards, and that's with missing nearly half the season with a knee injury. Now, you touched on it a little bit earlier during the broadcast. Bartram Trails has been somewhat of a quarterback factory. They've seen Nathan Peterman, who is in the NFL right now. He was drafted by the Bills. We have Kyle Parker, who was a former Clemson quarterback. Joey Gatewood, who went to Auburn. Riley Smith, Boise State. The list goes on and on. Chad Dotson is a guy who could really be a factor in this game. As we continue to keep looking at it, eventually that offense is going to get back on track. Back to you in the booth.
Thank you, Jamal. The quarterback factory of Bartram Trail continues to just churn them out, and that is certainly a tribute to what Darryl Sutherland has done with that program, but a lot of outstanding quarterbacks. Gregg slips on the kickoff, and it's going to be fallen upon and covered up by Lee. That's Craig Harper who fell on it, and that will be 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line now coming up for Lee, trailing 10-0. I think if you told Darryl Sutherland you could go into the halftime locker room up 10 before the ball game, he probably would have taken it.
Absolutely. I think Coach Sutherland would have taken up 1 at halftime against Lee, because this Lee team has weapon upon weapon upon weapon, and they are a defensive just juggernaut, and they are putting up points on them, and they're keeping them out of the end zone.
Well, here comes the Lee offense, and we'll see if Lee stays with Cale Zera at quarterback or Kobe Bates, and it looks like it's going to be Bates again who's going to set up shop in the shotgun formation in a 5 wide receiver set. Bates played quarterback in the first quarter. Zara took over after that, and now Bates again. He'll keep it right up the middle. Able to gain 4 on 1st down and stay ahead of the chains.
Nice job by the Lee offensive line here, creating a little hole, keeping their defensive guys from two-gapping and providing a little bit of running room for Kobe to get through.
2nd and 6. You can really see the difference in the pace, too, in and out of the huddle. Lee not quite as sudden as Bartram Trail has been with that veteran quarterback. 5 receivers once again. Bates throws to the near side. It is caught, slips 1 tackle, and Jeremy Robinson pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Gain of 3 brings up 3rd down and short.
If Bartram's play is the inside zone run, Lee's play is this bubble screen. Throw it out to a wide receiver, let your athletes make plays, challenge those defensive guys to tackle in space. It is hard to tackle somebody in space with nobody around you. You got to really be sound defensively to make those plays.
3rd and call it 5 from the 29-yard line. Bates deep drop. And is going to keep it again and runs for a first down. Able to drag a tackler beyond the 35 to the 38-yard line. That's been Bates' best opportunity here to make a play is with his legs.
Absolutely. And why wouldn't you make plays if you can run like this? He sets back in the pockets, goes through his read, nothing there. Great coverage by Bartram. Decides to put his foot in the ground and run. And when he does, he's hard to bring down. Good lower body movement, tough, hard running.
To keep the drive alive, 1st and 10 as we go inside 4 minutes to play here before halftime. And they'll hand it off. Running left is Alvin Gibson, and Gibson showing some speed. He's off to the races inside the 30, tripped up from behind, down at the 25-yard line. Alvin Gibson with the longest play of the game so far for Lee.
It's a great run by Lee, but we got some trash on the field. Looks like there's going to be a penalty coming, but what a great run by Gibson, hitting that corner hard.
33 yards on the run, but Joe, this, as you mentioned, may be coming back.
Absolutely. It's going to come back probably. Looks like it's going to be a hold or a block in the back. But what a run. You can't take, even though there's a penalty on the play, you can't take that away from Gibson getting out there and showing his jets for 33 yards. That's tough anywhere. So here you go, Gibson hitting that corner. Bad job by Bartram setting the edge, running. Looks like, there it is, little hit in the back, but you got to give that receiver credit. Looks like it was Jeremy Robinson. He's blocking downfield. You got to love that as a coach. It's an aggressive play, an aggressive penalty. It hurts, but still.
So it becomes 1st and 3. They marked it back from where things went. A long pass down the near side, incomplete as it was out of bounds. And Bates tried to uncork one there and get all that yardage back.
Absolutely. After a big run, you should always expect defensively that you're going to get a big pass play. Defense is saying, we're not going to let that happen again. They're trying to make plays, and that's when your receivers can get behind your defenders. A little overthrown, but still, great job by the offensive line, giving Kobe Bates time to throw that ball.
So 2nd down, and we'll call it 2. And once again, Bates working from the shotgun, fakes the handoff, will try to run it himself. This time has a 1st down and nearly had a big gainer before he was tackled on a shoestring grab by the Bartram Trail defense.
Cole, I'm really liking Kobe Bates. You watch him, he is a tough, hard football player. He is running absolutely with everything he's got. He's given Bartram something to handle as they put together a little nice drive.
Ryan Bobenrath was the linebacker who made the tackle on the play, and now Bartram jumps off sides. So 5 free yards for the Generals, who are keeping possession here as we near the 3-minute mark.
You know, with the Bartram offense that can put up massive amounts of points, crank out yardage, the best way to kind of keep them from doing all that is to keep them off the field, to put together long drives of yourself. You know, it's getting hot too, Cole. This is when it's really starting to get tested, especially Bartram's defensive line. You're getting tested. You're hot. You're tired. You know, you're not paying attention and doing all those little things right. Maybe a little mental lapse there on that play.
1st and 5 and a big hit in the backfield. So much for a mental lapse. Segree Graham came knifing through and dropped Alvin Gibson for a loss.
Not on that play. I mean, Segree Graham, absolutely. What a great play. Big hit, big tackle. That hurts. They're going to feel that one in the morning.
So 2nd and 6 after a loss of a yard. We're under 2.5 minutes to play before halftime. This is in essence an extended 2-minute drill for Lee. They'd like to not only maintain possession but get into the end zone here before the half.
Yeah, you know, Coach Small's going to want to put some points on the board. Give his guys something to be excited about after this drive.
Bates to throw it. A lot of time. Now he'll run and dumps it off. Throw and caught. And turning upfield and running out of bounds is Shakur Stokes, usually a defensive back, but he came up to make the play.
You know, Lee has got some guys that are going to go both ways. They don't have the numbers Bartram has. They're putting athletes on the field, best man plays. What a great play. I mean, offensive line for Lee all day long. Bates was back there forever. He could have wrote a book back there, and then he makes the play. Great catch by Stokes. Up and out, and then a little run afterwards.
Well, think about it. You know, Bates has played a wide receiver position in the past, so when he's in at quarterback, you need to find some athletes somewhere, and Lee's got him.
They do. They are stacked top to bottom. They have quick guys, fast guys, athletic guys everywhere.
We'll hand it off, and here is Alvin Gibson trying to run wide, and he is banged down shy of the line of scrimmage. Bartram Trail came up to make the play on that occasion.
Great job by Bartram's linebackers on this play. You know, the defensive end, great, you know, good job making the read, making sure there wasn't a play action, but then these linebackers, Dylan Chato comes up and fills the hole, makes a big tackle in space.
He has been very active today. We've seen him make a number of tackles already.
You know, some guys like the camera. They get the cameras out here, they start playing a little bit harder.
2nd down and 10 with 1:24 to play. Clock running here in the second quarter. Bartram Trail leading by 10. Lee with their second threatening drive of the ball game. Bates the throw, throws it underneath. It is caught by Terry McKinney, and McKinney is spun down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Little zone pass play here. McKinney just runs a simple little route. Finds the soft spot in the zone against Bartram's defense, makes a nice play. Great throw by Bates, turns, gets upfield, and then that Bartram defense, again, swarming. Not one guy making a tackle, but you saw 3 on that play.
We're inside a minute. Three receivers to the right. Bates in the shotgun again. He'll take it on a quarterback keeper and hit just about as he neared the first down marker. This is going to be very close.
And now the tackle for the Bears, number 34, Clark Hamilton.
And this may be a measurement as well as a decision here for O.J. Small.
Absolutely. This is going to be a tough one for Coach Small. Do you kick it? Do you go for it? What's going to happen? You know, Coach Small's got some choices here. We don't know much about his kicker, but watching him pregame, this is about his limit. I mean, this is going to be a poke for him to get through. So we'll have to decide, but they've at least put together a nice little drive. If it was me, I'm saying you're going for it on 3rd down.
Here's a view from our Lee and Kate's Glass chopper cam. With Lee and Kate's Glass, you can see a big difference in, and what a beautiful shot of the Bowl School campus right here on the banks of the St. Johns River. And look at all the cars who are here, parking lot, along the street. Skinner Barco Stadium is a popular place to be today for high school football fans in Northeast Florida.
It's not only popular, but it's hot.
It is.
These fans are drinking water. There's umbrellas up in the stands. You can maybe even see them from the helicopter view up there. But man, it is hot. It's not raining. They're trying to keep their sun off them.
Lee is making the trip into the Publix Greenwise zone. Greenwise products are designed specifically for shoppers who pay extra attention to how items are grown, raised, and processed. Did you fit in that category?
I do fit in that category. You know, who wants to eat processed stuff? But Lee's going to have to pay extra attention to this 4th down play here.
They'll hand it off, running up the middle. Cavante Doles has the first down, lunging inside the 15, down to about the 12-yard line. Now, Lee has 1 timeout remaining with 25 seconds here.
Great 4th down call by Coach Smalls. Man on man, you know, run behind your big offensive guard, J.J. Faulkner, the man-child, and said, hey, let's go get it.
Again, you mentioned Faulkner at 6'6", 285. It's a good guy to run behind.
I mean, you and I can run behind him.
Yeah, they've got some size on that Lee line. Javon Laws is 5'10", 300. So you get some good beef to run behind for the Generals, and that's where you look when you need to make some hay on the offense.
You know, and even though they're big guys, they're athletic. They can move. They've got great footwork. Again, they're working together. They're handling it. They're flopping sides, different plays.
Now Bates fakes the handoff and rolls. Pressure comes. Ball is out. Ball is out, and it's recovered along the near side by Bartram Trail with 11 seconds to go. Dylan Cheeto once again made the big play. He made the hit on the run as they were trying to come wide. Clark Hamilton recovered the fumble, and that ends Lee's opportunity to go into the locker room with a positive feeling and a score. Now we'll see if Daryl Sutherland decides to do anything other than just take a knee, but look at the hit by Cheeto. He has been everywhere so far in this first half.
He is Johnny on the spot. He's making plays, making tackles, and it's almost as if Bates didn't even see him out here, but you get a big guy in space making a play, ball on the ground. Bartram, the Bears, massive momentum swing, especially with Lee knocking on the door. This is a big-time play.
All right, so Dotson, let's see how aggressive he'll get here with the Bears up 10-0. It'll either be a draw or he'll try to go downfield, you would think. Fakes the draw, and he's going to throw it. Dotson looking long down the near side, and the throw sailed out of bounds as he was trying to get it to Trevez Johnson, who had lined up as a wide receiver. Hey, trying to get it in your most talented athlete's hands in a big moment in the ball game.
Absolutely. Athletes make plays. Here's a guy who's known for his defense out there running a pass route. But so as a defensive guy, you understand what you need to do as what you don't want to happen to you as a receiver. And Johnson showed it right there. He got behind the defender. Great play. Just a little bit overthrown, a little bit out of bounds.
5 seconds to play in the quarter. Quick throw to the far side, little hook and lateral. Ball's on the ground again. Lee's got it. Lee with a chance to make a play here at the end of the quarter, at the end of the half, and it's picked up by Jaheim Singletary. Now the ball's still live. They did not whistle him down. Now the whistles blow. There's a penalty marker on the play. If you can follow all that.
It's getting crazy down there, Cole. I don't know what just happened, but what a way to end the first half.
And there are some Lee players down on the field.
You know, Cole, on that sudden change of possession like that, Bartram was trying a little razzle-madazzle, a little mustard on their hot dog.
On the return team, that penalty's decline results in.
Well, halftime is here with Bartram Trail leading 10-0. All the excitement at the end. Here's the last play of the half. And the hook and lateral didn't get the clean exchange there. Singletary picked it up. And with a chance to try to change things for the Generals, but could not find his way. That's how the half ends. Bartram Trail 10, Lee nothing. Let's go down to Jamal Saints here with Daryl Sutherland.
I've been really proud of the way our guys have responded to the adversity that's been out there. Lee's a fantastic team. Coach Small does a great job. And we knew they were going to come out with some things that we hadn't seen yet, and they've responded to that well. And just the back and forth of the game, it's a great competitive game, and excited for the second half.
A few fumbles early in the game. Do you feel like your team just had that first game jitters that they had to shake off?
Yeah, but that's something we preach is the ball security, and something that I know they're going to take seriously about coming out fixing in the second half.
How do you get your offense to get on track here? Your defense has made plays for you all first half. How do you get your offense to make some plays back?
I just remind them to loosen up and play. That it's not that serious. It's football. Go out and play. Nobody says work football, right? They say play football. I'm just going to remind them of that.
All right, appreciate it, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Cole.
All right, Jamal, thank you very much. Daryl Sutherland's team with a 10-0 lead at halftime. Bartram Trail on top of Lee in the kickoff game of the Publix Bold City Showcase. Big halftime show still to come here from Skinner Barco Stadium on the Bowl School campus. We are just getting started with a day full of high school football right here on Channel 4.
Life happens. Reality strikes. Priorities shift, and you find yourself in a place you never dreamed. But then, opportunity emerges. A flame you thought was out reignites. Redefine your future. It's your turn. FSCJ.
I switched from Dodge.
We switched from Ford.
I switched from Ram. I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy. We switched to Chevy.
For dependability.
For technology.
For the muscle.
And just look at it.
Adios, Lexus.
Bye-bye, Ford.
We switched to Chevy.
And I couldn't be happier.
See for yourself why people are switching at the Chevy All-Star Open House.
Or add another Chevy to your driveway. Current GM owners can get over $5,500 below MSRP on this Equinox. See your Southern Chevy dealers.
If a car leaves the office at 5:46 p.m., picks up two different kids at two different locations, makes one U-turn because the second child forgot one item at the second location, passes three fast food joints looking for one meal that feeds four with zero time to spare, what is the quickest way to get a quality family meal? The Publix Deli. With delicious, ready-to-enjoy meals, every option is the right answer. Now that's everyday easy. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
JOI has been wonderful for me. Going back to my playing days, they kept me on the field as a player. And since I have moved on to the next phase of my life, they have helped me lead a very active lifestyle. I got to go. And JOI, without them, I wouldn't be where I am. I mean, my left shoulder is money because of JOI. I'm going to go where the best is, and me, I'm going to JOI.
JOI, where the pros go.
The Morning Show on Channel 4, the local station.
Life gets real. Time flies. You can lose who you are in the grind. But then opportunity knocks. Will you choose to answer this time? Rediscover what makes you tick. It's your turn. FSCJ.
And welcome back to Skinner Barco Stadium on the Bold School campus. Our kickoff game of the Publix Bold City Showcase. Bartram Trail leading lead 10-0 at halftime in a first-of-its-kind event here in Jacksonville. Welcome back up here to the booth. Cole Pepper, and I'm joined by the president of the Jacksonville City Council, Scott Wilson. And Scott, what a opportunity to showcase some of these players and schools here on a big-time stage for high school football.
It's a great opportunity for our athletes to be shown on your local station today. It's great to see all the fans out here as well. It's a great afternoon and a hot sunny day in Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, from a city council standpoint, one of the things I know you always look for is how to make the city a better place. That's sort of the underlying theme of what you guys are charged with. How does having an event like this play into that in terms of maybe from an economic standpoint and also just from a quality of life standpoint?
So one thing that I've worked on as the City Council President, I'm also chairman of the Tourist Development Council, and I'm working to create an opportunity to bring more sports tourism to Jacksonville by recruiting more athlete-based organizations through high school and collegiate opportunities.
When you bring the high school kids in, parents come, families come. This is not a travel situation. These are all local teams, but you can certainly see how an event like this could even get bigger and better through the years.
It's certainly the beginning of much bigger and better events coming forward, yes.
All right, you want to give us, it sounds like you might have some things cooking. Anything you can share with us?
So I'm in partnership with Visit Jacksonville, and we're going to work toward bringing some more sports-related events to Jacksonville, such as high school and collegiate opportunities. They recently hired Tom Norton, so he's going to go out and work to recruit those events to come to Jacksonville.
Well, it could be a big thing for sure. We've seen some great events through the years. Of course, in Jacksonville, each and every year, you have things like the Players' Championship, and you have the Florida-Georgia game, Jaguars games, that sort of thing. When those kind of games put you on the big stage, sometimes you have a slightly smaller stage, but an opportunity to make a difference. And people think about the impact that Florida-Georgia has. It's not really a direct money maker for the city so much. It's a great event, but it's not really a big money maker for the city directly. Something like a high school event kind of operates differently, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. And I think that we have opportunities throughout the state and throughout the nation to bring more opportunities to Jacksonville, and that's what I'm focused on. I also have an initiative that I'd like to share with everybody. It's called Boots and Badges, where we have police officers and firefighters that are starting to mentor young kids in high crime neighborhoods. So hopefully they can become those youth athletes of tomorrow and engage as well.
How can people learn more about that event or that initiative?
So it's reach out to my city council office, my webpage, and there should be information there, coj.net or 255-5204. It's basically geared toward police and firefighters mentoring these kids because they know where these kids are at. They know the kids that are in need, and it builds relationships with the police and firefighters and those children. So it's been a great partnership.
Scott, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it. Keep up the good work on the Jacksonville City Council.
Yes.
Scott Wilson, president of the Jacksonville City Council, joining us here at halftime at the Publix Bold City Showcase. We're back with more at Skinner Barco Stadium right after this.
Nominated deserving teacher to be recognized as the Sonic Drive-In Classroom of the Month. Winners will receive $250 in school supplies as well as Sonic slushes for the entire class. To nominate a teacher, go to the contest page on news4jax.com. Sponsored by Sonic Drive-In.
You feeling any younger?
Oh, yeah.
If this is the fountain of youth, why isn't everyone in here?
They don't know about Week for Life scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery.
They'll be sorry when we went up to $5,000 every week for life.
I can feel my skin tightening.
This is Lawn and Garden. Yep, it's happening again.
Live long and win on with Week for Life scratch-offs featuring over 29 million winning tickets. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Claim it!
If a car leaves the office at 5:46 p.m., picks up two different kids at two different locations, makes one U-turn because the second child forgot one item at the second location, passes 3 fast food joints looking for one meal that feeds 4 with 0 time to spare, what is the quickest way to get a quality family meal? The Publix Deli. With delicious, ready-to-enjoy meals, every option is the right answer. Now that's everyday easy. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
I switched from Dodge.
We switched from Ford.
I switched from Ram. I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy. We switched to Chevy.
For dependability.
For technology.
For the muscle. And just look at it.
Adios, Lexus.
Bye-bye, Ford.
We switched to Chevy.
And I couldn't be happier.
See for yourself why people are switching at the Chevy All-Star Open House.
Or add another Chevy to your driveway. Current qualified Silverado lessees can get this custom crew cab for around $289 a month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Tracking dangerous storms minute by minute. The Weather Authority on News 4 Jax.
Big Bang character prototype, Raj.
Raj is my name and stars are my game.
Characteristic canine dependency.
Let's go see if you fit in my man purse.
The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 9 and 9:30 on Channel 4.
Welcome back at halftime. Bartram Trail leading Lee 10-0. Let's take a moment and listen to the Spirit of Bartram, the Bartram Trail Marching Band. At halftime. The Bears from Bartram Trail leading the Lee Generals. We'll be back with more halftime right after this.
The Publix Bold City Showcase Drive of the Game is brought to you by your local Southern Chevy dealers.
When you walk into a gate, you'll get more than you ever imagined. Like quick and hearty meal options, fresh and fast pick-me-ups, and friendly faces to serve you. Gate has everything you need to keep up with your busy life. Say cheers to 25 years with a Jaguars 25th Anniversary Collectible Cup filled with your favorite fountain drink for just $1.25. Gate, serving up more.
If a car leaves the office at 5:46 p.m., picks up 2 different kids at 2 different locations, makes 1 U-turn because the second child forgot 1 item at the second location, passes 3 fast food joints looking for 1 meal that feeds 4 with 0 time to spare, what is the quickest way to get a quality family meal? The Publix Deli. With delicious, ready-to-enjoy meals, every option is the right answer. Now that's everyday easy. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
JOI has been wonderful for me. Going back to my playing days, they kept me on the field as a player. And since I have moved on to the next phase of my life, they have helped me lead a very active lifestyle. I got to go. And JOI, without them, I wouldn't be where I am. I mean, my left shoulder is money because of JOI. I'm going to go where the best is, and me, I'm going to JOI.
JOI, where the pros go.
If you just won't cross the ditch,
it's a Duval thing.
Named one of the best places to live.
That's a Duval thing.
And who's more Duval than the morning show team on Channel 4? Nobody. Having News 4 Jax in your neighborhood day after day to cover important stories you care about. The Weather Authority, keeping moms in the know with an hour-by-hour forecast. And having Sky 4 in the air to cover breaking news. Well, that's a Duval thing, too.
Duval!
The Morning Show on Channel 4.
Back at halftime here at Skinner Barco Stadium in the first game of the Publix Bold City Showcase. It's Bartram Trail leading Lee 10-0. Back up here in the booth, Cole Pepper, Joe Zelinka. Joe, we thought we might see a defensive-oriented game, and we certainly got that in the first half.
We sure did. If it wasn't going to be offense with these two teams on the field, we've seen defense back and forth. And a game where it's been about making that opportunity, taking that opportunity when it happens. We saw a bad play on special teams by Lee that led to the touchdown from Bartram, and then we saw an interception by Lee again. It's making those opportunities happen throughout the first half that we've seen Bartram go up 10-0.
Well, let's take a look at some of the first half highlights from this one. And it started for the very first offensive snap of the game. Bartram Trail looking like they would get a big gainer, but the ball knocked free, and Lee able to recover. That was the first of several big defensive plays in the first half.
It really was. Lee makes a great play right there, but here's the one that led to the touchdown. You got a defensive tackle, your punter, who's trying to make a play as an offensive guy. I give him credit. He looks shiftier than I would out there, but Bartram comes up with a big play.
And A.J. Jones would capitalize with the only touchdown of the first half, finding space between his center and right guard. The Bartram Trail line doing some big work up front.
They are working hard in this heat. They're working together as a unit, and they're playing hard against this tough Lee defense.
There were some moments for the Lee offense as well. They used a couple of quarterbacks in that first half, and this one would set up a potential scoring opportunity, but boy, just too many big plays made by the Bartram defense in the first half, including by that young man who was absolutely everywhere in the first half. Dylan Cheeto, the middle linebacker, made play after play after play.
This Bartram defense has stepped up their game. The linebackers were going to be challenged today by the athleticism of Lee, and they've come to play, making play after play after play.
So the last play of the half, trying to get a little something going, the old hook and lateral play, didn't go anywhere. Made for some fun running around in the heat, but didn't lead to any points, as this is how the first half came to an end, with Bartram Trail leading 10-0. And we'll see what happens in the second half, how much of an impact the defense can have. And if either one of these offenses starts to settle into a groove, you would certainly think the Heat would have something to play with that one. And as you take a look at the halftime stats, Lee ran far more plays than Bartram did in that first half and outgained the Bears, but that short field really made a difference. And you see a total of 5 penalties in that first half. You'd like to see it cleaned up a little bit if you're the two coaches of these
Well,
teams.
with these two coaches, it is all about discipline. It is all about playing smart. And penalties are driving both Coach Small and Coach Sutherland nuts in the locker room at halftime.
Well, we'll take time out, come back as we get ready for the second half. We'll see if the Bartram offense can get things rolling behind Chad Dotson, the quarterback for the Bears. Halftime with Bartram leading 10-0.
Life happens. Reality strikes. Priorities shift, and you find yourself in a place you never dreamed. But then, opportunity emerges. A flame you thought was out reignites. Redefine your future. It's your turn. FSCJ.
The Publix Bold City Showcase Drive of the Game is brought to you by your local Southern Chevy dealers.
A
glass and mirror upgrade by Lee & Kate's makes everything look better. Lee & Kate's Glass. You're going to see a big difference.
Nominated deserving teacher to be recognized as the Sonic Drive-In Classroom of the Month. Winners will receive $250 in school supplies as well as Sonic slushes for the entire class. To nominate a teacher, go to the contest page on news4jax.com. Sponsored by Sonic Drive-In.
When you walk into a game, you'll get more than you ever imagined. Like quick and hearty meal options, fresh and fast pick-me-ups, and friendly faces to serve you. Gate has everything you need to keep up with your busy life. Say cheers to 25 years with a Jaguars 25th Anniversary Collectible Cup filled with your favorite fountain drink for just $1.25. Gate, serving up more.
Bad things can happen when people aren't prepared for hurricanes. If you don't know what hurricane evacuation zone you're in, you can find yourself in real trouble. To see what zone you're in, go to our website. For things like gas cans, go to Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware and Channel 4 want to help you build the kit that fits.
Life gets real. Time flies. You can lose who you are in the grind. But then opportunity knocks. Will you choose to answer this time? Rediscover what makes you tick. It's your turn. FSCJ.
Halftime just about wrapping up here at Skinner Barco Stadium with the Bartram Trail Bears leading the Lee Generals 10-0. This is a tale of two histories. Bartram Trail, a couple of decades old. Robert E. Lee, slightly older, founded in 1927, second oldest school in Jacksonville, high school that is, after Jackson High School. Some great notable alumni, guys who played in the NFL, Edgar Bennett, Leroy Butler. Here's the first yearbook. Elmer Wilbur, the first principal. And the blue and the gray. And did you know? Members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band Lynyrd Skynyrd attended Robert E. Lee. The band was named after the student's gym teacher, Lynyrd Skynyrd. Skinner sent them to the principal's office where they received suspension notices for having long hair. Not a problem, Joe Zelinka, that you are tasked with here at this point.
Not a problem at all. But I tell you what a great story this Lee football team has put together in these last couple of years. They had that historic history, Cole. Then for a while, they were kind of the doormat of First Coast football. But since Coach Small has taken over 2015, 2016, we've seen some playoff runs. We've seen going deep into the playoffs, and they are here to play and make a statement on the First Coast.
I'm going to throw out a couple other notable Lee alumni here.
Give them to me. Let's see what we got.
What you got. Corky Rogers.
Oh, Corky Rogers, famed football coach, Jacksonville here. We all know Corky Rogers.
Right here at Bowles. And, of course, Mark McCumber, the former Players Champion and PGA Tour Champion. There are more. We'll get into those in the second half. But first, let's go down to Jamal St. Cyr, who's standing by with O.J. Small.
Public City Showcase presented by Sonic.
All right, Coach. First half didn't exactly go the way you wanted it to. What did you tell your guys in the locker room to get them ready to go?
Definitely, we got to clean up all these my bads, the mistakes. We can't keep making the same mistake and expecting to win. You know, defense playing hard, offense is sputtering right now, but at the same time, the second half, we got to pick it up.
What sort of adjustments can you make to get that offense going? I mean, I know you want to get on the scoreboard.
Just have them keep playing. We got to fight through it, keep them focused. And, hey, we got to execute. At the end of the day, we got to execute the plays. It's there. They just got to see it and relax. Let plays come to them.
Now, your defense played pretty well in the first half. Besides a couple of turnovers that set up some points, your defense was having a good game. How do you keep those guys to make sure that whatever Bartram Trail's adjustment is, they're ready for it?
We just got to make sure we want it, all right? It's four quarters in football. Got to finish the game. I preach finish, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Back to you in the box.
All right, thank you very much, Jamal. Got to finish, and they'd like to get things started hot here for Robert E. Lee. Lee will have the ball first to start this third quarter. I'm going to throw out a few more names for you here as we're playing Robert E. Lee history.
See what I can do.
There is a Olympic swimmer, Katie Ball, from Lee. Former Congressman Andrew Crenshaw.
Well, I am a Congress kind of guy. I'm a Congress groupie, so I knew that one right off the bat.
And a former mayor, Hans Tansler. went to Lee.
I did not know that one.
Yeah.
But wow, what a historic high school up there here in Jacksonville. And what a great story this football team is. They just need one big play, Cole. That's what's going to start the second half off. And it can happen right here on this kickoff. We saw it after the Bartram touchdown. We saw a big play on kickoff. It can happen again. This game can change on a dime. So buckle up and get ready.
Well, here we go. William Gregg set to kick it off. Cavante Doles, and he will let it go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and Lee will come out with the first possession of the second half. As we mentioned, Lee actually outgained Bartram in that first half. However, when you have the short field, it's not so much about the yards as it is about the pay dirt, and that's exactly what Bartram was able to find with the A.J. Jones touchdown run. So we'll see what kind of adjustments are made here in this half. Hearing what Jamal heard after he questioned O.J. Small, I don't think we're going to see major changes in style and approach. Maybe more about just trying to focus on that execution.
That's what it's all about for Lee right now. They've been close. They've knocked on the door. They've gotten into that green Y zone. They just need to focus, which they didn't do to start the second half. And you know Coach Smalls is just absolutely chewing on his tongue over there on the sidelines.
Before a second ticks off the clock, there is another penalty on Lee, and that will make their long field a little longer as they'll walk it back to the 15-yard line. So 1st and 15 there for the Generals.
You know, things like that are going to happen coming out of the halftime. Guys are a little bit excited, but you got to focus. That offensive line has to focus in on that quarterback's voice.
And they'll hand it off, and this is Doles running. With Bates staying in at quarterback, we did see Cale Zera in there for a bit in that first half, but the bulk of the snaps went to Kobe Bates at quarterback for Lee.
And he's played well, Cole. He's been athletic. He's made some throws. He's made some plays with his feet. He's really led this Lee offense pretty well for his first time really ever playing quarterback.
Two receivers to the left and one to the right for Bates. He will hand it off. And Doles doesn't find much room in the middle of that Bartram defense.
Nowhere to go against this Bartram defensive line. Coach Sutherland, you know he made the adjustments at halftime. He was tired of seeing some runs that would break. He's got those defensive guys for the Bears working hard. They made the proper adjustment on that play. Great job up front.
Brandon King with the tackle there, number 53, the senior middle linebacker. These linebackers have really made some plays in this ball game for Bartram Trail.
You know, that was my question coming in. Could these guys from Bartram run east and west with the speed and athleticism of Lee? And they're proving right now that they came to play.
Bates again in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff on the jet sweep and throws downfield. It's tipped and caught. Terry McKinney. There's the big play for Lee. McKinney is off to the races. 10-5 touchdown. 79 yards on the tipped pass. And Terry McKinney has made that big play you were calling for.
That's all he needed was a big play. And again, we had a tip. The receiver, McKinney, stays with it. What a play. Big momentum swing. Coach Small's excited. Coach Sutherland beating the ground with his foot. Here we go. Let's take a look at the replay, Cole. What a play by Bates. Steps back, throws. We get a hand on it by Bartram, and then the stiff arm, tough running. He doesn't stop until he gets home because Mama called him for dinner. He's got to put up 6 on the board.
And now will Lee go for 2 and try to cut the lead to just 2.
No, Lee. No, Cole.
There we go.
We're going to kick this.
There we go. I didn't see the kicker out there initially.
You can't miss him with those neon shoes on.
That's a good point.
I mean, kickers are weird like that anyway, though. So, you know, I mean, they're all a little bit different.
Derek Champagne, and again, trouble on special teams with a player running on late. The snap was coming. The kick was made, but this one... That will be enforced on the kick. So it is a 10-7 ball game. Just a minute and a half into this third quarter. The big play by Lee Terry McKinney. Biggest play of the ball game for either side. Take a look at the concentration by McKinney here.
Terry McKinney is a football player. This guy is around the ball. He understands it, and you can see it right there. Didn't give up on the play because the Bears got a hand on it, made the catch, and then turned on the Jets.
So 10-6, or rather 10-7 now. The extra point did count.
I don't think he counted, Cole.
They were going to assess the penalty. Did they miss the?
They missed it.
I beg your pardon. 10-6 then.
Yeah, he missed it.
I was looking at the flag flying rather than the official. My apologies.
No, you got attracted by the trash on the field. That's what you do up here as an announcer. You know, players, we worry about what's going on the scoreboard. That's what they were worried about. And I know that's what these two teams and fans are all worried about as well. But we got ourselves a ball game here. One score away. Lee is coming to play in this second half with a great opening drive.
Well, now, again, the official's a little confused as well. They just assessed a 5-yard penalty against Bartram Trail instead of against Lee. So now they're walking back to the 35-yard line for this kickoff.
It was a confusing play. You were confused. I was confused. The only ones who weren't confused were the fans. I don't know who was. The band's not confused. I think they're getting snacks now. So, great job by the two bands at halftime, wasn't it?
Yeah, great show by both Bartram Trail and Lee. Part of the pageantry of this event. It's more than just about a football game. You know, our coverage throughout the course of the week on Channel 4 included going in depth with the schools and hearing stories about what's happening in each school and each community. Here's the kickoff, and it's taken on one hop.
I love this kickoff here. Called the kicker, number 29 for Lee, kicks the ball off and then leads the team down the field, because you know that Bartram is not accounting for him in coverage, and he actually disrupted that play, and it's Bartram starting on the 25-yard line.
Derek Champagne, the sophomore, you were referencing the shoes, and he showed up there as well.
It was like a yellow highlighter running down the field because he took off to play. And you don't think of that out of your kickers. You don't think kickers are going to come up and lay the wood on you, but I guess Coach Small had a different idea when he put that play in.
What's the biggest hit you ever remember a kicker making?
You know what? You don't want your kickers to make big hits, but Scobie had a couple back when I was playing.
Yeah. Here's right up the middle, A.J. Jones with room. First down for Jones as he lowers the shoulder and rolls forward to the 39-yard line. A 14-yard gain by A.J. Jones, who scored the touchdown in the first half for Bartram Trail, and a guy who's getting plenty of attention from schools like Southern Miss and FAU.
He's a tough runner, and again, right back to that inside zone.
Quick throw out left, caught. Brandon Chim turns upfield. Chim's got some room down the sideline, pushed out of bounds in Lee territory. They're going to mark him out at the 47-yard line. Chim, who averaged 26 points per game last year, 26 yards per reception last year, turns in a big one here.
Two big plays by Bartram, and they ain't playing around. They're up on the line of scrimmage getting ready.
Quick throw again to the left side, caught by Chim, spins to the outside. Shorter gain here, but able to pick up 5 on first down.
Yeah, but you could see that Lee was a little confused there, Cole. The pace of Bartram's offense now with this hurry-up package that Coach Sutherland's put in has got them a little. They got their heads spinning, and this ain't good against this multiple-option Bartram offense.
And now a whistle at the snap. Let's see what this is all about. I don't see a penalty flag down. Lee called timeout, trying to slow down the pace of Bartram Trail. Probably a good tactical move there by O.J. Small as Lee calls timeout with 9:54 to play in the quarter. This timeout brought to you by Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, proud to be the official sports medicine provider for the Jacksonville Sharks, Jacksonville Jaguars, Axemen, and Jumbo Shrimp. Find out more at joionline.net.
Once again, thank you, Baptist Health, for your...
Cole, this is the chess match between these two coaches here, two of the best coaches on the First Coast. You know, Coach Sutherland, he's got the pace going. He's got that high offense, and they're moving the ball. Two really big plays. They're cranking it. And Coach Small on the other side of on the Lee sideline says, hey, my guys, calm down. You could see him right before he called that timeout, calming his defense down, reminding them what they're doing.
As they continue here in the third quarter of the first of 3 games from Skinner Barco Stadium. Here's a view from the Lee and Cates Glass chopper cam. With Lee and Cates Glass, you can see a big difference, and you can see the field below here from the chopper. as we continue our coverage of the Publix Bold City Showcase with Bartram Trail up 10-6 and driving here. 2nd and 5 from the 42-yard line of the Generals. Chad Dotson at quarterback drops to pass, now steps up, and down he goes. Sacked for a loss. Gabriel Merritt with the stop. He came in off the edge and able to drop Dotson for a loss.
This is a great play by the lead defense. Coach Small making a good call over there. You know, we get the rush on the outside. Bartram wasn't really ready for that speed out there.
3rd and 10 after the 5-yard loss on the sack. Dotson looks right, now back to the left, dumps it off for Chim. Chim can't find the first down marker, but able to gain back to about the 41-yard line. So a 6-yard gain. It'll be 4th and a short 4. Will Daryl Sutherland roll the dice here?
You know, that's going to be a good question, but it looks like he is. But remember, he did the little quick kick in the first half, in the first quarter. But this is a spot where I think you challenge that Lee defense.
All right, big play here. If Lee can make a stop, they would have all the momentum on their side. Dotson from the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, going to try to run it himself, but there's a lot of traffic. He's caught up in the wash and dropped for a loss, and the ball's going over on downs to Lee. The Generals defense rises to the occasion again.
They not only rose to the occasion, Cole, but look at this formation from Bartram. It is absolutely wacky. You've got the center on the end of the line. Here we go. Take a look here. We got the center snapping to a quarterback who looks over here. Lee wasn't phased at all. They maintained their discipline, their coaching. They played defense and made a play.
So number 6, they'll bring Bates back in as you take a look over on the Lee sideline to Gabriel Merritt, who made a couple of big plays on that drive for the Generals defense. And they'll hand it off. Lee going on the ground. And once again, it's Doles who finds about 3 yards. Not much more than that. It has been tough running for the most part against this Bears defense.
They are coached well. Coach Sutherland has a lot of seniors on this Bartram defense, and they are coached really, really well. They know how to fit gaps. They know how to make plays, and they definitely can tackle.
Yeah, all 4 linebackers are seniors. Got a senior on the defensive line and 2 seniors in the defensive backfield. So you talk about a group that has played together quite a bit and has played for Daryl Sutherland quite a bit. Experience certainly showing up here in week 1. Bates to throw. Now he's going to run, and he'll run out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. He'll have a first down for Lee.
Smart play by Bates there. Take what the defense gives you. You know, they're going to have great coverage downfield. We've talked about this great Bartram defense with Johnson and everybody in the back. Great coverage, and he just takes off and runs. He's got himself 12, 15 yards there.
If Lee can score here and take the lead, what a momentum shift that would be. They started to show some life at the end of the second quarter, but a turnover snuffed out their opportunity to get points on the board. Scored in the first drive, and now another fumble. Ball's on the deck, and I think Lee able to fall on it. They were, but boy, a moment there. Bartram Trail nearly had another big play on defense.
Holding your breath on that play if you're a Lee fan.
So brings up 2nd and 11. And on the tackle for the Bears, number 34, Clark Hamilton.
Clark Hamilton made the tackle on that play. Another one of the linebackers who's been very active for this Bears team. They're going to go wide with Doles. And he is dropped after a couple-yard gain. But once again, the linebackers ranging over there. Hamilton in on the play. This has been a very impressive performance by the Bartram defense, in particular the linebackers. The morning show on Channel 4 helps get your day started right. A team who invests time into local stories you won't get anywhere else. Watch the morning show on Channel 4.
You know, when I got this game, Cole, I didn't think I'd be talking about this Bartram defense like we are, but they have really, they're coming to play, and I love the gang tackling that they have. This is going to wear down Lee as the game goes on in this heat.
3rd and 8 from the 39-yard line now. Once again, Kobe Bates in the shotgun will drop to throw. Now going to run. And once again, that ball out there, you can see Bartram Trail trying to swipe it free.
It's not only out there, Cole, but you see how many guys hit Kobe Bates? There were 4 Bears that just crushed him right there. His helmet comes off. It's crazy. Look here, he's taken in the pocket. Great protection by the offensive line from Lee, and then he just slides through a little shutter shake, and then boom, 3 Bears bodies hitting him on the ground.
Now Zara is in there on 4th down. It's 4th and 4 from the 35. We'll see. There's nobody back. They're not expecting a punt here or a quick kick of any kind. And let's see. This may be a situation where they try to draw Bartram Trail offside. Zara will take the snap. Quick throw right side. Has a man open. Caught by Alvin Gibson. He's got a first down. Ball came out right at the end. And the official says he was down right there at the 23-yard line. But a 4th down conversion with Kale Zara coming in to make the play for Lee.
You know, this guy's been on the sidelines watching Kobe Bates make play after play after play. Coach Small taps his shoulder and says, hey, you're going to have to go in and make a play. And here he comes in, makes a little throw. Fantastic pitch and catch to Nathan Chandler, a freshman out there making a play.
Timeout. This is the officials' run rate, and also known as a
There'll be timeout for the hydration break here with 5:37 to play in the 3rd quarter. Time for a Sonic hydration break for all cookie dough lovers. Just when you thought you couldn't get enough cookie dough, Sonic made the Big Scoop Cookie Dough Blast and Sundae. We'll be back in the action in just a minute.
If a car leaves the office at 5:46 p.m., picks up 2 different kids at 2 different locations, makes 1 U-turn because the second child forgot 1 item at the second location, passes 3 fast food joints looking for 1 meal that feeds 4 with 0 time to spare, what is the quickest way to get a quality family meal? The Publix Deli. With delicious, ready-to-enjoy meals, every option is the right answer. Now that's everyday easy. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
JOI has been wonderful for me. Going back to my playing days, they kept me on the field as a player. And since I have moved on to the next phase of my life, they have helped me lead a very active lifestyle. I got to go. And JOI, without them, I wouldn't be where I am. I mean, my left shoulder is money because of JOI. I'm going to go where the best is, and me, I'm going to JOI.
JOI, where the pros go.
I switched from Dodge.
We switched from Ford.
I switched from Ram. I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy. We switched to Chevy.
For dependability.
For these guys.
And just look at it.
We switched to Chevy.
See for yourself why people are switching at the Chevy All-Star Open House.
Visit your participating local Chevy dealer today and register to win this all-new 2019 Silverado LT Trail Boss. See your Southern Chevy dealers.
Nominated deserving teacher to be recognized as the Sonic Drive-In Classroom of the Month. Winners will receive $250 in school supplies as well as Sonic slushes for the entire class. To nominate a teacher, go to the contest page on news4jax.com. Sponsored by Sonic Drive-In.
Sports analyst Mark Brunell, only on News 4 Jax.
The Baxter's Block Party is bringing down the house.
You get to live here rent-free with your husband.
Mom gets to live here rent-free with her husband.
He's got you there, honey.
Believe me, I pay.
Last Man Standing. Weeknights at 8 and 8:30 on Channel 4.
We mentioned some of the history of Lee High School. Not nearly as long a history for Bartram Trail, established in 2000. A big school, though, at 8A. Chris Phelps, the principal, then Wendell, the athletic director, and, of course, Daryl Sutherland as the head coach. And they are a big school, one of the biggest in the area, and they just continue to grow at Bartram Trail. Of course, a great rivalry with Creekside every year. And compared to Robert E. Lee, you see the enrollment a little smaller for a 6A team in Lee. Timothy Fagan's the principal. Rosalind Bloxham Johnson, the athletic director. And both schools kicking off the Publix Bolt City Showcase here with us today. We anticipate both of these teams will be among the best in the area this year. Here's the handoff right up the middle as they load up the backfield. Fumble on the play, scooped up by Bartram Trail. Bartram's got it, Craig Sinclair, and he gives it off to Travis Johnson, and Johnson out to the 40-yard line. Another big play by the Bartram defense.
Huge big play by the Bears here. Coming up, you had Lee knocking on the door, put together a great drive, and then all of a sudden, ball on the turf. Who's around it? The Bears are around it. Scoop and score. Little scary here with a shuffle pass to Johnson, but hey, why not? They let the man run, the Gator, the future Gator. Let's see what he can do with the ball in his hands.
Now they're going to talk things over here and get set to play. So there is an injured Lee player on the ground. That is Cavante Doles, the running back, and he is not a guy they can afford to lose. He has been the workhorse in terms of the running game so far in this one.
Looks like they're working on his leg there, Cole. It's hot down on the field. He's been working hard. Doles has been running. He's been blocking. He's been asked to catch some passes. It could be just a simple cramp. Hopefully he can get hydrated and get back out there.
Doles has run for 22 yards so far in the ballgame. But he has had the bulk of the, 14 carries, 38 yards in the ballgame.